Good morning, everyone. It's Irfanali Moladina from RMI Professional Corporation, here today to talk about some common missed personal tax deductions when we're talking about your personal taxes. So this video is being recorded in March, and we all know our personal tax deadline here in Canada is end of April. So best time ever to talk about personal taxes. So today I just want to mention a few ones as you're preparing your own, or if you have a professional who's actually preparing your returns. It's very important to know and make sure that these deductions are being picked up on a yearly basis. Sometimes they can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year, which obviously over time can add up very quickly. The first most common mistake I see on personal returns is the missing of medical expenses. So in Canada, we're allowed to claim our medical expenses, be it dental, even a lot of people have Blue Cross, let's say, and the premiums you're paying, those are deducted. Chiropractic, in some provinces you can even claim massage. And so the key with this is anything above 3% of your income basically is something that can be claimed, and you want to make sure you're reporting all your medical expenses and maximizing this, especially families. If you have kids, any doctors or prescriptions or things like that, anything that you end up paying for, we can actually claim a portion of that as your write-off. The next most common mistake that I see is union and professional dues. So sometimes what will happen is if you're part of unions, or even if you're a professional, and you have to pay for regulated licensing, or even sometimes courses that you're mandated to take, all of that is actually a tax deduction as well for you. So it's very important, keep those receipts, make sure they're being submitted on an annual basis, and making sure we're maximizing your deductions. Another big common one is if you're moving for work. So if you move closer than 40 kilometers, if you have to move at least 40 kilometers to be closer to work, your deductions for moving can actually be deducted on your personal returns as well. This can include even obviously the moving trucks that you're hiring, but it could include storage. It can even include the commissions on selling your primary residence, if you have to pay real estate commissions, and that we all know that can add up to be quite a bit. So anytime you're moving for work, as long as you're moving at least 40 kilometers, you can actually claim a lot of these deductions. I have a couple more for you. Quick ones: student loan interest. So if you still have any student loans outstanding, that's a tax deduction as well. Gets missed quite often. Childcare expenses. So anybody with children, then they can obviously, if you have them in a daycare or Montessori or even babysitting, all of that can be a deduction. It's very important that you're documenting the information for the childcare facility. So if you have a babysitter, you need their name and social insurance number. If it's a facility they're at, you need their company name as well as their business number, or GST number if they're registered. And then this way you can report that and get a deduction for the childcare claim on that side. And the last big one, sometimes many people have what's called employment expenses. This year in 2021, for the 2020 taxes, obviously we're dealing with the COVID pandemic, and many people are working from home. So that counts as part of your employment expenses, is working from home. You can write off a portion of your home expenses. The government this year has a new deduction. It's a tax credit of $2 a day for every day that you worked at home. So you can either go that route, or you can go with the traditional claim, where you can write off a portion of all your expenses, be it rent or your insurance, property taxes, utilities, and write off a portion of all those expenses against your income. And this goes beyond just home expenses. Sometimes employment expenses can include vehicle, if you're required to drive for work, if you're required to buy supplies. Teachers especially can get a special teacher's credit if they're buying supplies for their students. So there's many different deductions on that end. You want to make sure you're capitalizing and maximizing those on that for sure. As always at RMI, your first consultation with us is always free. So if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. We can be reached at 403-457-4232 or by email at info@rmiassociates.com. Thank you and have a great day.